Episode 24. What's wrong with Orny Adams? Are you tripping off some trip?
I'm only just beginning to understand what this record was about. 2, 3, 4.
John Lennon. John Lennon wants to know, are you tripping off some trip? That's what I want to know too. On this episode, which I'm doing really because I'm getting a vaccine shot tomorrow. Shot number 2. I'm anxious about that, but I return to stand-up comedy. So what's wrong with Orny Adams returning to stand-up comedy? Not much. Lots to discuss on this episode, including great bowling shots. Can you believe it? We're going to discuss bowling, false idols, vaccines, and my return to stand-up comedy. What's wrong with Orny Adams? Episode 24. Guess what? My name's Orny Adams. Slide this down. I'm really I'm anxious about vaccine shot number 2, Moderna. Yeah, it's like I've heard so much about the side effects, and if anybody's gonna have side effects and be sick, it will be me. So I had a show. I'm turning this off. I had a show. I was offered shows for tomorrow night, Thursday, and I turned both of them down. Because I have scheduled in my calendar to be sick until at least Saturday. But this is the right thing to do. We're building up herd immunity, and I hope everyone's getting their vaccines and not too afraid of it, even in light of the news out today. But, we're all doing a lot of things. People do a lot of things every day that's going to kill themselves. So, anyway, I don't want to discuss vaccines. That's not what this podcast is all about. But I did return to stand-up comedy. And I had a show last Saturday night. I had 2 shows, great lineup, great venue here in Los Angeles called the Whitley. And it's an outdoor venue. You're in the round. And I got to be honest with you, I didn't know what to expect. I said, this could go either way. And I allowed myself. I said, listen, I might suck. This might be the worst decision I've made. I haven't really done shows in front of an audience like this that wasn't like a corporate show or something like private. And I didn't know what to expect. And I didn't know what to expect from the audience. I didn't know what was going to happen with me, but I did my homework. I undug my old, it was like Pompeii. Do you know Pompeii in Italy? Where there was this volcanic explosion and it hit this town suddenly, and it's like frozen in time. So you can go there and they have like skeletons of people like baking bread and just doing their daily activities, and it's just frozen. And that's what I felt like with my comedy notes. I'm like, this is where I left off. And I didn't know what to expect in terms of like, will my jokes still work? Will my sensibilities work? Will my style still work? Should I change my style? Do I have to change the entry points for these things I'm talking about? And I got to be honest with you. What's wrong with Orny Adams returning to stand-up comedy? There wasn't much. It wasn't much. Everything went beyond what my expectations were. Let me repeat that. Everything went beyond my expectations. You understand what that means? If I'm happy with something, we don't have a podcast. we don't have a stand-up routine. Shit has to go wrong. In fact, if you've ever been to one of my shows and something goes wrong, like let's say a waitress drops a tray of drinks and I go nuts. My audience loves when stuff goes wrong. They're actually happier than when things go right in my life. In fact, when I'll call somebody and they'll say, how you doing? I'm like, doing great, having a great day. And they're like, gotta go. Nobody wants to talk to happy, satisfied Orny. Everybody wants the Orny that's been on the phone with customer service, battling people all day. That's the guy you want. Well, Saturday night, went in there, I had a game plan. I reviewed old notes, old videos. I mapped out what I wanted to talk about and how to make it sort of relevant. Things I was discussing before. And got to be honest. And you can call me biased, but I think I was stronger than before. It went that well. This entire year, I was anxious. Not anxious. You know what? No, I wasn't. In fact, I said that on stage. I wasn't. I enjoyed the time off. It was like a dream to do nothing for a year, guilt-free. Now, I feel bad that it took a pandemic and millions of people to die for my dream to come true. But that's I enjoyed the time off. And it gave me perspective on my routine. That's why I played that clip up front. Let me grab that clip again. This John Lennon. Listen to what he's saying. I felt this all along. You can do jokes, and you know they're funny. And this is why I don't like to just get stuff out there. Like a lot of, I know that in the last 10 years or so, the trend in comedy was get it out there, get material out there, do it as often, do a new hour as quickly as possible. You've got to let this stuff marinate. You've got to let your jokes build. And sometimes you don't even know why you're telling a joke for years. You think you know, but then all of a sudden you realize, oh, that's why I was saying that because there was something going inside of me. There was a meaning that I was missing. And then if you just dismiss it and say, I'm done with it, it's on a special, I'm never going to do it again, you're doing a disservice to yourself and your audience and to who you are, to your voice, why you went into comedy. I didn't go to comedy just to make people laugh. If I want to make people laugh, I'll go to the supermarket and stand in line and make people laugh. I'll stand in elevators and make people laugh. I'll go anywhere and make people laugh. I can make people laugh anywhere, anytime. I was hiking the other day and one of these buffoons was running backwards. You ever see these people with his dog? Some people like me, when we go hiking, we walk up the hill and down the hill in the forward position. This guy, I've seen this before. I need to Google what are the health benefits of running backwards besides tripping and falling on your ass. I don't know what muscles it's working, but this guy, I've seen it. I did it. Okay, full disclosure. One time during the pandemic, I ran backwards for a little bit, but I didn't see why to do it. But this guy was in great shape, shirt off, a lot of shirts off now. Let's keep the shirts on, everybody. Shirts on. Should be like a mask. You have to have your shirt. Anyway, so he's trotting backwards. And his dog, because I saw him engaging, this guy, by the way, he'd stop the trot any second when a woman and her dog wanted to talk to his dog. The backwards trot stopped. And I'm watching him. And the dog's chasing him. And this is a little bit risky, okay? He's a big, muscular man. I said to him, as he ran past me, and the dog ran past me, looked up at me in judgment, looked at me like, why aren't you running backwards? And then I saw him look at my stomach. The dog looked at my stomach. He goes, maybe you wouldn't have the stomach if you ran backwards like my owner. So the guy trots past me, running backwards. Now you got to look back. You got to look back when he's running backwards. He has to keep checking to see if there's a pothole or somebody coming, or he's going to run off the canyon. Why he doesn't have a hat with rear view mirrors, I don't know. If I was a running backwards type person, I would get that. As he passes me and the dog passes me, I said, "Hey, if only you could get the dog to run backwards." Big laugh. Big laugh. Do you see what I mean? If I want laughs, it's been easy my whole life. I can make people laugh. I can connect with people. I connect with people off stage in a way that I wish I could on stage. And I don't know if it's on stage. I'm just anxious about getting to the... How many times are I going to say anxious on this podcast? I don't know if I'm thinking forward. Where am I going next? Not exactly in that millisecond of a moment. But on Saturday night, 2 shows at the Whitley, guess what? 38% more likable. That was me. That's the number I'm putting on it. I went in there saying, just be who you are off. This stuff all works off stage. You work off stage. Who cares? Who cares if you're in front of people you don't know? Who cares if you have to connect with multiple people at one time? Who cares if some people are sitting glassed in plexiglass like they're in the penalty box at a hockey game? Who cares? And I did it. And it felt really good because now, this is a group show. You know, there's a lot of comedians on this show, or there's 5 of us, and some audience members are here to see me, some are here to see other people, and it's different than when I go on the road. Like when I go to the Mohegan Sun at the end of this month, which is in Uncasville, Connecticut, the people, they're paying to see me. They're paying a lot of money to see me. They know my sensibilities, and they're ready to laugh at me. That's different than this. This is, you have to win over strangers. And a lot of the times there's a celebrity on the show, and they're there to see that celebrity. I get it. But I show up with, preparation and 38% more likable than 2020, Orny. And I'm telling you, it's a rebirth. And sometimes the year off gave me a perspective. And that's what Lennon's talking about right here. You get a perspective. He wrote this song because it just flowed out of him, but he didn't understand what it meant for years.
I'm only just beginning to understand what this record was about. 2,
3, 4. Instant karma's gonna get you. He's just learning what it meant to him. And that's why I do stand-up comedy. I'm not up there to just make you laugh. I'll make you laugh easily. Talk to me after the show. I'll be happy to make you laugh with nonsense. But I felt like the direction of my old act, which is now my current act, I feel more connected. And the whole pandemic, the year off, I kept thinking, I was like, I really, why didn't I record that special? Why didn't I have my 4th special? I should have recorded it, even if I just brought cameras into a club just to have it on tape. I could have sold it. I could have done something with it, and I'm going to move on. Well, I'll tell you, after Saturday night, you know what I thought? I thought, I'm happy I never recorded that special, because these jokes, which have had time to marinate, that's right, now I'm a comedy chef. They had time to marinate. You like low and slow, barbecue people? Got to let it marinate and cook slowly. And that's what stand-up comedy is. Or you can just get out there and be crass and throw your stuff out underdeveloped and move on to the next topic and burn a great topic for other people like me that want to really develop it. You know, last night I was sitting around and I thought, this Johnson & Johnson vaccine, that it was interesting that it has 2 names, but you only take 1 shot, get 1 shot. Why isn't it Moderna or Pfizer, since there are 2 of those? So I just tweeted, and then in parentheses I wrote, I'm willing to sell this joke or something like that. You know, obviously saying that it wasn't a great joke. I was just screwing around. It was just a thought. I just wanted to tweet a thought. And then people jump on you. One person said, not funny. What did they? I think I muted them. Not funny, not something. You could, Orny, use my name. Orny, not funny, not clever. That was the word, not clever. Are you going to tell me about clever? Let me see your resume. Let me plug into your head for an hour. And let me see what thoughts are ruminating. Clever. Then here's the irony. The person wrote, do better. Do better. Listen, you hack. Do better. I mean, talk about platitudinous. Do better? Do you understand? That's conventional. That's common. Do better. You do better. Be original. Be original with your insults. Do better. Do better. Platitudinous. Do better. You do better. Because if you were honest with yourself, instead of just regurgitating cliches, you cliche regurgitator, you would say, I feel like you could do better, Orny. Or I expect more. Whatever it is, do better. Do better. You want to be in this time, well, in this life, and maybe you don't. Original. I strive. I strive. Now, I'm not saying that thought last night, and I'm not declaring everything I say as wholly original. Plenty of people probably and have thought. One person pointed it out on Twitter that they made that same observation with Johnson & Johnson. I just had it in that moment. I wanted to say it. That's what I would say if I was out in the streets. I just say it. There's a lot of overlap in this lifetime. A lot of parallel thinking. Do better. I mean, I can just tell you by the fact that person used the phrase, do better. I'm a whole lot more clever than that person. And I have a record to stand on. Do better. God. And then the fact that people even have to even say anything critical. You know, yesterday, 2 people sent me videos, and I hated them both. Hated them. Now, did I post under the person's video that I don't know how much I hated it? No, I moved on with my life. Why? Because I have power elsewhere, not power in chiseling down people and shitting on their dreams. That's not where I feel empowerment. So if you're that type of person, think about it. If you need to reach out. Now, if you're doing it in a joking way, you know, I posted it on Instagram. I think some comedians wrote hard pass or whatever. That's like a, you know, like a comics joke. That's fine. That's fine. But if you're using cliches, if you say something and then you see it in 30 other posts, do better, then you need to say to yourself, I'm not that original. I need to do better. Because I'm doing better all right over here. All right. I have limited my platitudinous in life. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. I'm glad I'm older and that I have a sense of understanding myself and confidence. And I'm not a young person dealing with this shit storm of the internet. I mean, all of a sudden it's given power to people that shouldn't have power and a voice to people that shouldn't have a voice. And all of a sudden we have a rise of con artists. These people that used to just work in small communities, maybe trying to pass off a counterfeit $20 bill and trying to get $16 in real money change. They're now full-time grifters, grifting people on the internet. And a lot of people are falling for this, these false idols. I watch it on the murder shows. Watching it on another murder show now. This person selling people on... the world's not that complicated. Stop looking for meaning in everything. Sometimes things just happen. Yes, sometimes things happen. You know, that boat got stuck in the Suez Canal. That's not a conspiracy theory. Conspiracy theory. That isn't some other country trying to shut the canal down and shut down the U.S. economy. It just happened. You know why? A tide. And maybe the captain didn't predict the tide or the edge as well. Stop looking for meaning. We're not being overrun by aliens. What are you afraid to take ownership of your own life and say that you have control? That you have autonomy? Are we afraid of autonomy? Is that why we're going to say the aliens did it? The aliens built the pyramids. Wow. The aliens built the pyramids. How insulting to the Egyptians. They built the pyramids. If I was Egyptian, I'd say, whoa, hold on a second. We did that. We're not aliens. Like, think about it. And I'm not even that confused about how the pyramids got built. To me, you know what I mean? I've discussed it on stage. I wish you understood, and not a lot of people in the public, which I would call myself, I'm in the public, will tell you this. Don't take me too seriously. Don't dissect my words like it's gospel. Don't think I'm talking to you specifically. I'm telling you what's in my mind. Maybe you'll think, yeah, you know what, I feel that way sometimes. But you should disagree with me on many things. And you shouldn't put me up here. And the people that tell you to put themselves up here, they're cult people. And they have a voice on the internet. And for some reason, the rise of conspiracy theories is out of control. And everybody has counter conspiracy theories. Could it be that life is so simple that we're overthinking all of this? That's what I think. We're looking for meaning where there isn't meaning. We're looking for answers where there aren't answers. The answer is very simple. Most of life is 2 + 2 = 4. It's mathematical. It's right there for you. Nobody's out to get you. Everybody thinks everybody's out to get them. It's not that complicated. Here's the other thing that you should be reassured by when you think of these global conspiracies. We're not that smart as a species. We're not going to pull that off. We aren't. We're not that organized. We can't keep quiet. One group of people can't stay formed together for too long. People are going to break off. They're going to start their own power struggles. They're going to backstab. You're going to know. You're going to know. And that's why I respect this clip that I'm going to play for you. This is John Lennon. And at one point in his career, well, you know who John Lennon is, right? He was in the Beatles. Lead singer. He was assassinated by a fan. And he seemed pretty evolved to me. He seemed pretty with it in regards to empathy and understanding people. Certainly well advanced beyond me at the young age. And the story is, I think he was from Liverpool. And he got together with Ringo, real name Richard Starkey, Paul McCartney, who I've seen in person in Beverly Hills. Excuse me, that's a wild story. Paul McCartney, and then, how many were there? 4? John, Paul, Ringo, George Harrison, While My Guitar Gently Weeps. These guys just got together to, play songs. Probably instead of getting another job or meeting chicks or whatever. But it was magic. Beatles are magic. Now, do they speak the gospel? No. And that's, by the way, not fair to people when you put it upon them that they're this idol. Like, people do that to Bob Dylan. He's like, these are just songs. It's like, whatever it means to you. And they did that to Lennon. And what happened was, there was a guy, he was a Vietnam vet, who in the video looks a bit shell-shocked. And he believed that John Lennon was speaking to him through his songs. Now, I've had people think I'm talking to them through my jokes. Me! And I'm like, whoa. Well, these are just observations. I'm just talking about Ziploc bags or, thermometers or, whatever it is. There's no higher meaning beyond, hey, we're all human and we're all connecting on this level with these observations in this space and time. And I'm just, I sit around longer thinking about this stuff. I might be more curious. I might have different wording, but I'm not talking to you. Anytime they're like, you're talking to me, I'm like, oh, okay. Restraining order time. It's a burden to put on people, this expectation. And I've seen it with people I know. So this Vietnam vet kept reaching out to John Lennon saying, you're me, I'm you. I don't know what it was. And he showed up at his house in England after he sent a telegram, and he was sleeping in the garden. Yoko, this clip appears 2 times on the internet. One time in the movie Imagine, and then in a Channel 4 documentary, which is, Channel 4 is in England. And it's interesting what part of the interaction is left out in each of the clips. So this is Yoko. This is the first clip this is from the movie Imagine. She is describing Claudio was his name, and how he slept in the garden.
There was no sort of particular security.
Security.
One of our assistants told us that there was this strange guy that was just staying in our gardens almost every night. John always felt responsible for these people because they were the result of his songs. That's how he felt.
Don't confuse the songs.
So John goes
with your own
outside
life.
to talk to him.
I mean, they might have relevance to your own life. But
And he's just like, hey, dude, I'm just writing songs. You gotta chill out. And this poor guy really was looking for meaning, again, where there wasn't meaning. Just queuing up the next clip here. This is from the Channel 4 documentary. And this is John Lennon's assistant at the time. I think he's in the video, obviously much older now, talking about this guy. And he showed up. And I'm going to discuss the clip. I'm going to play the clip and talk over it. And you'll understand why I'm playing this for you in a moment.
Diana said to me one morning, we just got this telegram and it says, hi, I'm coming. And I'll be there soon. Signed, Claudio. And everybody said, well, he can't get here. And I said, no, I'm not so sure. And lo and behold, he turned up at the gate. This was a shell-shocked Vietnam veteran, a young man from I think he'd been in a hospital in the San Francisco area, and he was about to be released.
Don't confuse the songs with your own life.
That's John. So Claudio, he's got a great coat on. I wish I had this coat. I really do. It's like one of those long coats with big buttons, and it's probably suede and some like faux fur around the neck. And he's got long straggly hair. Very handsome man. And John walks out, and Yoko's with him, and he says, don't confuse the songs. I'll pull that back just a little bit. And he's very sort of, John's leaning up against his house and just sort of chill and just sort of wants to help the guy understand that there's no higher meaning.
Your own life.
Don't confuse the songs with your own life.
I mean, they might have relevance to your own life, but a lot of things do.
And we went through a number of things. The police wanted to arrest him, and John said, don't hurt him.
And then I had this guy called Claudio saying, I'm coming, and I only have to look in your eyes and then I'll know. So last week he turned up at the house,
So Claudio sent a telegram or something through the mail, rather, a package, and said, I know, I just have to look in your eyes and I know. And then he showed up, and I guess he was sleeping in John Lennon's gardens at his house in England. And he didn't want to call the police. I'd call the police because someone like that scares me. By the way, he didn't call the police. And then what happened to John Lennon? He was assassinated by a fan because he was accessible. He was outside of his house, the Dakota in New York City, by a fan. John Lennon was killed by a fan, in case you don't know the history. In case you're wondering why sometimes people are afraid to meet their fans. Let's continue with the clip.
He was obviously very, very infatuated by John, and he sent a lot of letters, and some of the time he thought he was John. But he also wanted to meet him, desperately wanted to meet him.
So we met, you know, I'm just a guy, man, who writes songs.
You hear that? That's really important. So we've met. You wanted to meet me? You wanted to look into my eyes? We've met. And I'm just a guy. I'm just a guy that writes songs. Lennon had this awareness, this humility. I didn't have that in my 20s. Now, he's much older than his 20s. He's probably in his 40s here. But I didn't have that. Or late 30s. I don't know how old John was when he was assassinated. He'll always be a lot older than me, no matter what, in my eyes. Meaning my age will never exceed John's. That's what's weird about, like, when you watch, like, it's weird to see your heroes grow young. You know, like I look at the Rolling Stones and all of a sudden I'm older when they were, like the same videos I watched in high school. I'm now older when they were once older. Now they're younger than me. They've grown young in those videos. So we've met. John goes, we've met. And I'm just a guy. I'm just some dude that writes songs. Don't, you know, you're reading way too into this.
So we met, you know, I'm just a guy, man, who writes songs. We can only say hello, and what else is there?
Yeah, I figured that if we met, I'd know, you know, just by reading.
He said, I figured we'd meet, and I'd know just by meeting you.
But know what?
Know what?
You know, if what I was thinking was true.
Well, is it true?
Well, I guess not.
Right, I'm just a guy, man.
But it all fits.
Anything fits. You know, if you're tripping off on some trip, anything fits.
If you're tripping off some trip, anything fits. If you're tripping off some trip, anything fits. That's why I asked you in the beginning, are you tripping off some trip? Are you tripping off some trip? Are you making things fit where they don't fit? Are you looking for symbolism where symbolism doesn't exist and creating symbolism because there's some sort of coincidence? You know, there's something called coincidence in this world. Coincidence! I can take a Beatles song and I can make it like it's talking about my bar mitzvah, for crying out loud. Are you tripping off some trip? Now I got to go to the other clip, because at this moment, this is my favorite moment, and this is a little bit low. Claudio, the Vietnam vet, has a chance to ask John specifically about some of his songs, and he asks about a song that Lennon didn't even write.
Like when you said, boy, you're going to carry that weight for a long time. That was just...
That's Paul sang that. Yeah.
Paul sang that?
Well, that belongs to all of us. He's singing about all of us.
Remember that one, you can...
He said, you know, when you said, boy, you're going to carry that weight, and Lennon's like, I didn't even write that. That's Paul. But it belongs to all of us. I mean, Lennon was certainly a poet. That belonged to all of us. Somebody used that. Let's go back to now we have to go back to the other clip. So that was the Imagine clip from the movie, and now we're going to the Channel 4 documentary clip to resume the conversation. And if maybe I should have just let this whole thing play, but you can find it on the internet. Just Conversations Between John Lennon and Vietnam Vet Who Came to His House is the name of the Channel 4 clip. And the other one is from the movie Imagine, and I don't see the title on it right now. Okay.
You know, if you're tripping off on some trip, anything fits, you know.
Remember that one, you can radiate everything you are, you can penetrate anywhere you go?
Yeah.
Syndicated. Yeah.
That was just having fun with words. And
I sort of eradicate syndicate.
Radiate was, she wrote that. Radiate Syndicate.
Now John's saying that, well, the line that you're connecting to, actually Yoko wrote it.
I was just having fun with words. It was literally a nonsense song, you know.
Listen to what he's
saying. I wouldn't tell you.
Listen to what he's saying. I was just having fun.
Literally a nonsense song.
I was having fun.
Yeah, it was. She wrote that. Radiated Syndicate. I was just having fun with words. It was literally a nonsense song, you know.
I wouldn't tell you unless...
I mean,
you know,
Dylan does that. Anybody does it, you know.
There's that, you know.
They just take words and you stick them together, and it's like throwing the I Ching or something. You just see what happens. You take a bunch of words, you throw them out, and see if they have any meaning. Some of them do, some of them don't.
In other words, don't take it so seriously. We're just having fun with words. In a minute, we'll go over While My Guitar Gently Weeps, which has one of my most favorite nonsense lines in all of music.
Remember Old Heart Christian has nothing on you?
Yeah, well, he don't.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you're it. See, that last album of mine was me coming out of my dream.
Seems like it could have been different.
What could have?
Well, before that last album, the way it built up.
But that was, to me, it was just a hallucination, a dream.
It is now, yeah. 'Cause
Right. I mean, you can last your whole life on that dream, you know?
Wow.
And then it's all over.
well, you weren't thinking of anyone in particular when you were singing all that.
Here he's asking, were you thinking of anybody when you wrote this stuff? In other words, were you thinking of me when you wrote these songs? Here's Lennon's response.
Well, you weren't thinking of anyone in particular when you were singing all that.
How could I be? How could I be thinking of you, man?
Well, I don't know. Maybe I don't care me, but it's all somebody.
I'm thinking about me, or at best Yoko, if it's a love song. You know, and I think about an audience in general. You know, if I'm singing Old Hare Krishna, Got Nothing on You, I'm sort of talking to any old friends who've been listening to what we were saying and saying, look, well, I think it's a lot of bullshit now. You know, let's forget it. You know, and that, as far as I'm concerned, you know, and but that's it. I'm basically singing about me. I'm saying, you know, I had a good shit today, and this is what I thought this morning, and you know, and I love you, Yoko, whatever. I'm singing about me and my life, you know, and if it's relevant for other people's lives, that's all right.
Don't ruin your life.
He had great empathy.
Yes, he
which
did.
If you think about it, can be very painful.
Yeah, so don't ruin your life looking for meaning in things where there is no meaning. Now, I don't know why in the Channel 4 documentary clip, they didn't play Claudio asking about the song that Lennon didn't write. You didn't get her that way. But here's a beautiful moment at the end. John's like, are you hungry? This guy shows up at his house.
You hungry?
You hungry?
Hmm?
Yeah.
Let's give him something to drink.
Let's give him something to drink. Didn't you just ask if he was hungry? And now you're going to give him something to drink? And then they give him toast and beans, I think, which is very British. I would be like, dude, you're John Lennon. Where's the spread? He's dipping his toast in the tea or something. But, you know, by the way, there are conspiracy theories about this clip that people think he showed up on the Dick Cavett show. Remember Dick Cavett? We discussed him last week. Boy, he's coming up a lot on this podcast with Orson Welles. So Lennon was on that, and another guy stood up and asked a question about a song or something, and it looks just like Claudio. And so people think that this guy's a plant and that he was paid by Lennon, and Lennon would never invite a person that just shows up at his house into his house. But, you know, again, you can look for conspiracy theories everywhere. But that seems genuine to me. It doesn't seem like acting. And then I look, so now, okay, here's the full thing. So now I'm watching the clip from Dick Cavett, and I'm watching, and what I did was I took a screenshot, and I held it up next to the one of the Vietnam vet showing up at Lennon's house, and I'm going, this is, looks a lot like him, but the nose is different, but I wish I could see from the side. But I found one thing that on the Dick Cavett guy who asked the question, his eyes kept rolling up into the top of his head, whereas the guy in the garden had these crystal blue eyes that remained forward and didn't blink. They certainly didn't roll up. That's my evidence. I'm sticking with it. My ruling is no conspiracy. and not the same person, but open to discussion. I'm open to change. Can you believe it? I'll listen to people. I'll hear change. Speaking of listening to people, I've got some viewer email I should go over. Again, if you want to keep in contact, my email is what'swrong@ornyadams.com. what'swrong@ornyadams.com. And for everything What's Wrong with Orny Adams, you can go to teamwhat'swrong.com. I've started this webpage, teamwhat'swrong.com. For now, it takes you to a portal embedded within ornyadams.com that has all the links to the podcast. Eventually, it'll have links to all these videos I play. It'll have reading material that will support the podcast, and you can be part of this. If you're curious like I am, and I'm going to give you an example of my curiosity, which just came up this morning when I close out this podcast. And this will not be a long one, everybody. I just wanted to come out here and say hello quickly and record something before I have my second vaccine because I'm afraid I'm going to be sick. And normally I release on Thursday. And what's today? Tuesday? We might get this out today, maybe tomorrow, depending on when we can finalize it and get it up. But the thing is, and don't be discouraged by my fear of the second shot from you getting yours. Let's just do it. It felt good to be out among people. The end is near. The end is near. You want to see me do stand-up comedy? Get the shot. You want to start meeting people again and dating and being social? Get the shot. We can do this. I can see the end. The end is near. Taking a sip of water. So please feel free to contact me. Emails what'swrong@ornyadams.com. And please let me know if I can use the email on the podcast. I keep telling people that, and then they write these long emails, and then I have to write them saying, hey, do you mind if I discuss this? So here's, what is this person? Yeah. I asked if I could discuss it. Yes, you can. Please do not use my name. Thanks. Let's see. So I'm not using her name. But hi, Orny. I have something, I have to share something with you. Oh, God, it's like every guy's nightmare. You get an email from a woman. I have to share something with you. Like, oh, no. Oh, boy. So, super long story short. Thank you. Took my parents to the Chicago Improv last January. They loved your show. Huge fans. Okay, I'm liking this already. My stepdad fell down some steps and broke 9 ribs and is in the hospital. You know what I'm starting to realize? I'm a curse to my fans. Have you noticed, like, last week one of my fans died, and now this fan fell down steps and broke 9 ribs. And I guarantee, of course, the guy's married. I do this on stage. Single people don't have accidents like this. This woman writes, I'm with my mom, helping her, taking her to the hospital, etc. This evening, I'm trying to figure out how to take their mind off stuff. She says, we should watch Orny. She said, you are, there's all caps, you are a household name. At least in this household. Thank you. My college kids will ask, how's Orny? I guess she's a teacher. Thank you for being you. Thank you for talking. Thank you for the podcast. A friend of mine once said, you have no idea the impact you have on someone's life. The smallest gesture, a smile, the humor. I agree with that. And I was shocked last week when I read that letter, how I had inspired Ed. She wrote, your most loyal fan. Can I be president of your fan club? I want to pass out buttons with your picture on it. Well, that now we know the person's older. They don't want to hear no buttons. But anyway, thank you. Thank you for giving me permission to read that on the air. I hope your stepdad gets better. I can imagine breaking 9 ribs. You don't want to show up at one of my shows because I'm the rib breaker with my jokes. I'm the rib breaker. I need a name like that, the rib breaker. I'm going to talk about a guy at the end of this podcast. A bowling guy has a great name. I think the only thing stopping me is my outfit on stage and my name. So anyway, thank you. I look forward to returning to the Chicago Improv, of course. And I have dates at the end of this month. I will be, and that's up on ornyadams.com. Or just go to the teamwhat'swrong.com. Because this is now a team effort, okay? We've given the networks a chance. We've given the gatekeepers a chance to expose Orny Adams. They've chosen not to. So now it is upon you. I'm using everything I learned on these TV shows about starting a cult. That's right. It's time. Get it together, everybody. This is from another listener. She sent me a nice email. I said, thank you for the wonderful email. I'm about to record an episode. Do you mind if I discuss it? She wrote, "Hi, Orny. Oh my gosh, I got a response! ! I'm at work silently trying not to freak out at my cubicle. Ha ha ha. I would love it if I got a response. P.S. Now everyone's using P.S.'s because I know I love P.S.'s. A lot of P.S. and ass kissing going on in my correspondence, but keep them coming. No, she wrote P.A. Post. What is P.A.? I gotta Google this. Is P, or is that a typo? Because A is next to S. Let's see. Hold on. I'm on the computer. Let's see. This might be like a younger person, and PA is something new. PA meaning. Oh, it's medical. PA. PA is busy on the telephone? Father P. What does the abbreviation PA? Physical assistant, public address, purchasing agent. Okay, it's a typo. PA sent you a tweet. Oh, no, I don't want to say when, but oh, look at this. About coming to see a show at the Chicago Improv whenever you can, since I've heard you say you love the venue. Boy, a lot of What's Wrong listeners are in Chicago, and I'm liking it. Anyway, let's read some of her email. Again, email me directly, what'swrong@ornyadams.com, and tell me, yes, you can use this. Don't use my name. Don't say this thing that's in the email specifically. That will give me away. I'll keep this on the DL. That's down low. Okay? For people that want to know. PA, down low. Hey, Orny, I just wanted to start off by saying that I've recently discovered your stand-up and podcast. I'm finding them to be, one word, refreshing. Thank you. Especially the podcast, which has helped keep my sanity as I finish the last month of my bachelor degree. It's so hard these days to get someone's attention through the internet or via DM or whatever. Your message can get lost in the shuffle of hundreds of correspondence and forever be in the void without being seen. Anyways, it's impactful to have people it's impactful to have. I should read these before I do it on the air. Anyway, it's impactful to have people like what you write. It's like it gives your conscious mind meaning. It's humbling. I like what you write. I like the way you express your thoughts and how it comes out. That is all. And maybe you'll write something back. Maybe you won't. And this will be just another message lost in the void. At least I've said what I wanted to say. I hope you're having a wonderful week. And I hope you're having a wonderful week too. And I get these. I read them. You guys are so supportive and so kind. And I cannot thank you enough. I really thank you. And to hear that my podcast is refreshing. And I think I know who this person is because I think she tweeted, I saw it, and she looks younger. She's not talking about making buttons for my fan club. Buttons! Buttons! My fans are all dying. They're so old. That's the good news. I'm not going to have to do this forever because my fan base will be dead. Let's see. So thank you. Thank you for listening. I'm not saying your name, and I hope I continue to deliver on the level that remains refreshing. As I've said, I put the time in, so I appreciate it. Email me, what'swrong@ornyadams.com. I reached out to another person. They haven't gotten back to me, but I do read the correspondence. I appreciate it. And I would love for this podcast to be very interactive. So let's keep it going. Oh, before I forget, this is the lyrics to While My Guitar Gently Weeps, which was not written by John Lennon, but another Beatle named George Harrison. And you want to talk about gibberish and nonsense? One of my favorite lines of all time. This is the first verse. I look at you all, see the lover that's sleeping, while my guitar gently weeps. Still my guitar gently weeps. I don't know why nobody told you how to This is not the first lyrics. This just printed out. Stupid! All right, let me Google it. Did I print out like just the second verse? Was I cheap with the paper? Wow, my guitar. This is what people like. This is when everything goes wrong. Well, it's wrong. What's wrong with Orny Adams? Printed out the wrong verse of the lyrics. Oh, this is Wikipedia. I don't want... While My Guitar Gently Weeps is a song by the English rock band The Beatles from their 1968 double album, The White Album, written by George Harrison. The song serves as a comment on the disharmony within the Beatles following their return from studying transcendental meditation in India in early 1968. Okay, great. Let me show up at your garden. Let's get to the lyrics. These are the people that you're gonna buy into. These people are singing the gospel. They're singing to you. They're talking to you, right? Where's these lyrics? Full lyrics. Ready? I look at you all. Oh. Wait a minute. Where's the... Someone's control. Look at you all. What the... I don't know what I was told. Leave mistakes deferred. Where's my favorite line? Oh, I'm losing my mind. I look at you all, see the lovers that's sleeping. See the lovers say, while my guitar gently weeps, still my guitar gently weeps. I don't know why nobody told you how to unfold your love. I don't know how someone controlled you. They bought and sold you. I look at the world and I notice it's turning. These are great lyrics. While my guitar gently weeps. And with every mistake, we must surely be learning. Still my guitar gently weeps. I don't know how you were diverted. You were perverted. Oh, you know what it is? Screw this. That's what I copy and pasted to print. And screw you. Screw you, Music Match lyrics. Screw you. You just ruined my podcast. Now I look like an idiot. This is verse 1. I look at you all, see the love that there... Oh... I look at you all, see the love there that's sleeping, while my guitar gently weeps. This is the nonsense lyric. Why isn't it on that one that I just printed out? I look at the floor and I see it needs sweeping. Still my guitar gently weeps. I look at the floor, it needs sweeping. You think that these people are talking to you like they're God? I look at you all, see the love there that's sleeping, while my guitar gently weeps. I look at the floor and I see it needs sweeping. This, how lazy is that? That's verse 1. Verse 1, he didn't take the time to rhyme something with sleeping, like bleeping or heaping or anything, leaping. I look at you all, see the love there that's sleeping, while my guitar gently weeps. I look at the door and maybe my love is leaping. I don't know. I'd write anything. That's verse 1. That's what I'm saying. A lot of this stuff is just nonsense. I mock Dylan's lyrics all the time. I think it's hysterical. Because nobody was sent. Nobody was sent here to speak to you. Nobody was sent to give you the meaning of life. The meaning of life is 2 + 2 = 4. It's simple. That's it. And don't listen to me. I don't know what I'm talking about. That's all. Poor guy with his rib cage falling down the stairs. Well, let's bring it home with a little bit of excitement, right? Because something happened today or last night that never happens. Well, 2 things happened. 1, bowling is trending on Twitter. Bowling! What happened? A 7-10 split happened. Last night, this has not happened in over 30 years. Listen to this excitement I'm about to play you. This guy's name, it's great. His name is, what do they call him? The Ginger Assassin. He's the Ginger Assassin. And he's got a shirt on that says Hammer. Looks like a lot of American flags. He's wearing his mask. He's 18 years old. And guess what? He's got red hair. That's why he's the ginger. And he's about to do something that is every bowler's nightmare. And that's a 7-10 split. And I'll explain it to you in a second. Let's just listen to some of the footage. This is the first time in 30 years that this has happened on TV.
You know, I think there's so many processes to becoming a champion on this tour, and especially winning a major. And I'll get to those processes right after this shot. Again, you can see that ball breaking loose early.
7-10.
Wait a minute. I didn't see the ball break loose early. Let me see this again. I gotta watch the ball to see if it break. You know, now that I'm a bowling fan and aficionado, I gotta learn what it means when the ball breaks loose early. Hold on. Oh yeah, there it is. There it is. Look at the ball. Oh, I mean, right there. I go, this is trouble. This is going to be a 7-10 split. Look at that. That ball is breaking loose early.
Again, you can see that ball breaking loose early.
7-10. Come on, man.
7-10. Come on,
again, the look
man.
back. So
that's what I mean. I don't know why I re-racked.
Yeah, he's not happy about a 7-10 split. What's a 7-10 split, everybody? That's where the two back pins on the corner are left standing. And so most of you would watch this clip and go, oh, okay, I'm going on with my day. Not what's wrong with Orny Adams. I now have to Google, why is it called a 7-10 split when there's two pins standing? Well, simple answer. The number 7 pin is in the left corner in the back, and the number 10 pin is in the right corner in the back. Hence, a 7-10 split. This is from Wikipedia. Oh, no, this is from an article I was reading. Or maybe it's Wikipedia. One of the most infamous splits is a 7-10 split, often called goalpost or bedpost, where the bowler is left with the leftmost and rightmost pin in the back row, the number 7 and number 10 pin, to knock down with a single ball to achieve a spare. This is also the most difficult splits to pick up. I guess pick up means to knock the two stupid pins out. Well, bowling's about to get exciting, everybody, because the ginger assassin is going to pull it off. I could do a cliffhanger because now I cover bowling on What's Wrong with Orny Adams, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to let you know right now so you can hear the excitement in this announcer's voice. Ready for this? All right.
right through the face, leaving the 7-10. The 7-10 only been made on television 3 times in the history of professional bowling on TV.
Come on, kid, do it. Oh, he did it!
Oh my God! Yes! Yes! Oh my God!
Goodness, the Ginger Assassin just dropped the 7-10.
Ginger Assassin dropped the 7-10.
Oh man!
Oh, I can't believe it.
Give me some oxygen and water.
Oh, I have a reason to live again.
My guaranteed rate. If you believe it, you can do it. Guaranteed rate. Believe you will. I believe the Ginger Assassin can drop the 7-10. Oh man!
Guaranteed Rate's a sponsor. They're about one step ahead of me with sponsorship. Guaranteed Rate, call me. I'm ready for sponsorship at this level. I'm doing 7-10 splits every day. So what happened with the 7-10 split? Guy threw the ball, which I don't know the terminology, rolled the ball. They use these big balls. I still do it between my legs. And the ball hit the pin on the right, which is the 10, back. He hit it so hard, this Ginger Assassin. He's an assassin. That the ball, the pin, hit the side of the wall, came flying to the left, and knocked down the 7 pin. This has only been done 3 times in the history of television. And only one time in the last 30 years, this Ginger Assassin. Listen to the excitement. This is almost like when a goal is scored in soccer. He dropped the 7 pin.
Come on, kid, do it. He did it! He got the 7-10, Randy! He did it!
Oh, this is better than an orgasm!
My goodness, the Ginger Assassin just dropped the 7-10!
Oh, I'm so hard!
You bet! Oh, man! Give me some oxygen and water to spare the game. Brought to you by Guaranteed Rate. If you believe it, you can do it. Guaranteed Rate. Believe you will.
Yeah,
I believe the Ginger Assassin can drop the 7-10.
Drop the 7-10.
Oh, man.
Oh, I'm going to go punch somebody.
It actually came off of the bowling ball
Insane.
into the 7.
Oh, I mean, let's settle down. Meanwhile, I think these announcers are going for infamy. They're playing it up a little bit. But it's fun when you see... No conspiracy theory there, is there? Did the aliens come down and make that ball go off the other ball? Did the aliens come down and make the ball hit the pin, and then the alien hand took the pin of the 10 and slammed it into the 7? No, it just happened, and we can enjoy it. This is a great moment for this 19-year-old. And let me tell you something, Ginger Assassin. Your life just peaked. That's it. It's not going to get better than that moment. That's your greatest moment. A 7-10 split. I do this all the time when I used to bowl. We used to Candlepin Bowling. That's what you do in Massachusetts. In Boston, they're small balls. We have big balls in Massachusetts off of the bowling alley, but in the alley, little candlepin balls. They're very manageable. You don't have to stick your fingers in them and fear that you're going to throw the ball, and the inertia, look that word up, kids, is going to take your finger off when you're a kid. I was so afraid my finger would get stuck in the big ball. So, I don't know, this all became about sex all of a sudden. So, the candlepin, I used to do a 7-10 split. I was the king of the 7-10 splits because I would throw the ball would get away from me, so to speak. This is bowling terms for the people that don't consume bowling like I do. And you'd have those 2 pins on either side. And so now, you can do one of 3 things. You can do what the Ginger Assassin did. You can slam it as hard as you can off of one of the pins and pray to the Lord that the alien hand is going to come down and whack the other pin for you and put you into bowling infamy. Or, now I want to Google the other people that have done this in the history. I'm curious on where they are now. How did their lives turn out? Or you can go for the 7 pin or the 10 pin and just say, all right, I'm gonna do this. I'm not gonna get the spare. I'm gonna take all 3 of my balls. You know what I do? This is how talented I am as a bowler. In the middle of my arm, all the way back, as I'm about to release it, I change my mind. Am I gonna slam it and hope the alien hand comes and takes 1 pin and hits the other pin? Or am I going to go for the one on the right or the one on the left? I get so confused, I throw it right down the middle every single time. That's how dumb I am. Orny Adams, what's wrong?
What's his name, Cal?
Orny Adams.
Episode 24. Thank you for listening. Please keep in contact. What's wrong at ornyadams.com. What was wrong in this episode? My return to stand-up comedy. Absolutely nothing. What's wrong with false idols? What's wrong with giving people, expecting people, thinking people are your God? What's wrong with getting the second vaccine shot? Well, I'll tell you next week. Hopefully nothing. Hopefully nothing. Hopefully I felt the side effects on the first one, and we're moving on. And what's wrong with bowling? Nothing when you can do a 7-10 split, and your name is the Ginger Assassin. My name is Orny Adams. This is episode 24, What's Wrong with Orny Adams. Thank you, Ernesto Hurtado, for polishing this up and getting it up on the internet. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Please continue to listen. Please feel free to subscribe and like and share and write reviews. I don't know if anybody's ever done that when somebody's asked them to do it, but people tell me to do it, so I just did it just like I'm a sheep. There's some platitudinous for you right there. Right there. Thank you again. Team what'swrong.com, ornyadams.com for my tour dates coming up, because there's going to be a lot of dates. Calendars filling in. And links for this podcast. Thank you very much, everybody. Aloha.